at the zone 1059.com.
Hey. Man, oh man. Welcome into the show, into the Bureau, the Farm Bureau Insurance Studio. Farm Bureau, go with the home team. I'm Matt. Beaver is here. You are here. We got hot coffee. It's still hot from this morning. I've been trying to cut back to like one pot of coffee a day instead of the normal 2 pots of coffee a day. I'm trying to go back to 1. And so that meant I made some earlier this morning and poured that coffee in that thermos. And buddy, it is still hot. Hot, he said. So get on in here today on this Wednesday. It's, sure enough, time to turn the page over to look ahead of the next weekend and start to preview just a little more for Mississippi State, peeking ahead to Georgia and, seeing what if. Tall task. I mean, Georgia's really good. Got a tall task. But, I was thinking this morning, it does speak to how much improvement State's team at the levy this year has shown overall, that as good as Georgia is, you're going into the game. You're not expecting State to win, but you're going, they may hang in there. And if they do, you just never know in the fourth quarter. Opposed to what it was like the last 2 years where, frankly, you just went into every weekend going, no shot, none, zero, no shot. I hate to say it. But so it just shows you, you're back on a competitive level where you feel like, if we get a mistake or two that's uncharacteristic from them, and we just kind of are who we are, have been offensively at home, we may hang this thing close, and you never know. Get in there in the fourth quarter, it can go either way. So that and more on the table with you today. You can comment on the live stream. There's lots of ways for you to be a part of the show. Comment on the live stream. On the old, social medias, YouTube, Facebook, X, formerly Twitter. Just type a comment in right there. I can get it and pop it up on the screen. If you post it, I see them all the comments from all the platforms in one place. And I can pop it up on the screen and we can communicate that way. You can text me. That's good. The old text message there on the country pleasing text line. The number to text is 885-3776. 601 number 885-3776. And of course, we'll fire up the old train horn there when the phone rings for the Junction phone. Junction delis all across the state, fueled by Prince Oil Company. They've been fueling Central Mississippi since 1960. Number to call, 897-1059. Got it? 601 number, 897-1059. The first comment I got today is from Sven on the YouTube live stream. Now, I say today, it's day here. It's nighttime where he is over in Berlin, Germany. But still, we're linked up, World Wide Web and all. But Sven says, Hail State, everyone. Guess what? He says, I have us beating Georgia 31-24. He said, my Texas pick of 41-20 was okay with 7 minutes to go. It was 38. Yeah, I can't, like, State fan, it's hard to even look back at that Texas game and realize just how big a lead you had and how close you were to pulling that thing off. But anyway, the close doesn't count. It's all coulda, shoulda, wouldas. So Sven's official pick is State beating Georgia 31-24. And I will say this too, if State's defense is able to limit Georgia to 24 points, you will feel like, maybe offense can score enough to have a chance to win the game. If you can hold them to 24. Tough task. I think we pointed this out yesterday in SEC play. I think you just have to consider that, State has given up a ton of yards, a lot of bend but don't break, a lot of red zone stops and forcing field goals instead of giving up touchdowns, which is good. But Lots of yards allowed too in SEC play for State's defense. And they are much improved. Georgia really runs the ball too, and they lean on it and stay with a very, very balanced, maybe the most balanced overall offense in the SEC, meaning how good they are throwing the ball and how good they are running the ball. So you just got to consider all that too. So I would say, all things considered, you get to the end of the ball game. If you held Georgia to 24, you're going to feel pretty good about it defensively. Anthony texted in. No, I'm sorry. I missed one. First to text was Dog Tired from Florence. He says, a university gets paid if a coach gets hired, but a coach if he is fired. He says, I want to be a fired coach, 30 to 50 million to cover the expenses. Right. Seen lots of people saying, yeah, boy, we got in the wrong business. Yeah. And you think about everything you have to put up with along the way. I certainly would be careful to stand here and insinuate that nobody should get into coaching for this reason or that reason. I'm just saying this is the reality of it. I'm someone who could have coached, and I actually started down that path. I was a teaching coaching major, but with the idea that I would get into coaching. That was the first thing I did when I got into college. And then one day I don't know, I probably credit where credit's due is, as a young kid, a believer, the Lord, and you pray about it and say, Lord, please make the light bulb go off, or I'm not smart enough to figure this out. Direct my steps. I don't know where I need to be, but I trust you know where I need to be. Well, it's like one day I just woke up going, no, I don't want to do it. I don't want to move around constantly. I kind of want to be able to pick where I want to live. Also, I want to be a dad and have children. And in my case, a child. And I want to be able to spend as much time possible with them until they hit 18 or whatever it is and head off down the road of their own adult lives. But in terms of their childhood, I want to always be there. I want to always be able to be there. And frankly, you can't do the big time college football coaching thing and spend your life with your children. You can spend time with them as much as possible. You're going to spend the majority of your life away from them. That's just the way it is. And you go, well, maybe the offset is those millions of dollars. Yeah, but make your mind up. Is it worth it? I can make some money, maybe, I don't know, possibly, when Mary Liddy graduates. I'm someone who I wouldn't be able to live with myself for someday she leaves, the nest is empty, and realize I spent her whole life being gone because I was chasing my career. Just wasn't interested in it. And so coaches who reach out, yeah, it's great. Dog tired, you chase it, and get yourself a buyout someday and set up on a nice little pile of money and go play golf with Coach Freeze. But, you do have to ask yourself, is that really what you want? Is that where the Lord wanted you? Is that what'd you miss? Anthony texts the show. Says, call me crazy, but I think we can beat Georgia. What do you think? Yeah, I think they can beat Georgia. Is it going to take a monumental effort? Yeah. Is Georgia much better than Tennessee and Texas? Yeah. Than Arizona State? You bet. Better athletes, more future NFL guys. I'm really impressed with their quarterback. He didn't get much praise, but I think he deserves probably more. Really solid, really good, especially down the stretch, second half, red zone stuff, all the hard stuff he's really good at. Extending plays, making people miss when they get pressure, all that. So it's a tall task. But at home, and if State keeps their quarterback clean and throw and catch, they can score. And, again, if you can score and you can have a good day defensively and maybe force a mistake, you're close in the fourth quarter, anything can happen. Look at Arkansas. You just within striking distance, if you can throw the ball away State can, anything can happen. It's just a matter of Do you or don't you? Do you make the plays or don't you? But can you? Yeah, State can. Hey, by the way, Kirby Smart, he had some glowing remarks when looking at what the job that Levy's done, how competitive they are. State's receivers, he really praised them. I'll let you hear a little bit of that right now.
Another week in the SEC, as we all know. Really good opponent, Mississippi State. Jeff, I know well, and a good guy, and done a great job with their program. The energy, enthusiasm coming out of that programs, you can see it in the way their kids play. They got no quit in them. These guys have competed. They have been in every game they've played. They have upgraded the talent level since he's been there. You look at the group he's put together defensively, offensively, and special teams. They got really good players all over the field. Our guys are going to be up for a great challenge this week. We're going to their place. And when you play on the road in the SEC, trust me, I played a lot of years and coached a lot of games at this place. It's a tough place to play. They have great fan base, and Jeff and his staff have done and go with the ball, the decisions he makes in terms of running, throwing, box counts. I mean, he's very experienced at it, talented player, and he's got great legs. And they've got another quarterback that is a really good player as well.
It jumped ahead there, so it went from compliment, then at the end talking about quarterbacks. But we can hear some more from what Kirby said about State. He got good questions, and there were actually, for a team like Georgia, they and their media, they really do respect opponents. There's lots of questions in there about State, the opponent, as opposed to just, who's healthy and that sort of thing for Georgia. So you may find more of it interesting. We'll get into that. Andre from Jackson texted the show. His prediction is going to be State versus Memphis in the Liberty Bowl. Yeah, so a rematch of that game a few years ago when Coach Leach was coaching, you had the officiating snafu that sort of gave Memphis the upper hand in that weird game. Be all right. Have they done the renovations to Liberty Bowl Stadium that they were talking about, or they still haven't done them yet? I don't know if they'd actually begun construction or not. State Grad 98 texted the show, said, since Beaver likes to try to give me grief with my Monday morning predictions, I want to say we score at least 27 on Georgia. State Grad 98 has State scoring 27 points on Georgia. And what was it? Sven said 31-24 final. He picked State in the upset. We'll see. Let me know what your picks are. Unnamed texter said, no, this is John. I'm sorry. John in Rolling Fork said, I, for one, am glad you went into broadcasting. Enjoy your show every day. Well, thanks, John. Appreciate that very much. At first, it's a true story. When I first decided, no, I'm getting out of this coaching major, it was just the first 2 semesters. Okay. So of college. So your first year is when I was a teaching coaching major. Then I changed it. And at first I went and I talked to the counselors and I was like, I want to change it. I want to do landscape architecture. And they're like, you can't do that. I said, why? You can't do that and play football, particularly quarterback. Takes up too much time. You got to be gone too much. Can't do that as a quarterback. You got to pick something else. Dadgum. So I went into communication, sports communication, and here we are. MSU 1980 texted the show and said, I agree with what you said about what is more important, money or time with your family. I choose family. You can't go back and get that time and experience back. You really can't. And I know it's to each his own. I wouldn't judge somebody else for the path that they go down. That's their life. It's their thing. It's different, for each. But for me, I just started thinking about that at an early age. I really did. I remember several years ago, this was, I don't know, what is this, 2025? So, it might have been 10 years ago, something like that, in that time frame. And I remember I was having a conversation with somebody that, this is a person that, frankly, is a person to whom, the bank account and the bottom line and the balance is everything. It's like, it's what they wake up, putting their feet on the floor, thinking about every morning, and going to bed thinking about, driven by it, love it, they eat up with it. And they've been very successful, frankly. But I remember sort of the shock look on their face when I told the truth. I told him the truth, and he knew I was telling the truth. And sort of the shock look on his face, just of confusion. He couldn't quite understand how somebody could possibly think that way. I just said, hey, look, if the goal is just to make $1 million, like, I mean, just make that round number. I just want to make $1 million. Well, if that's the goal, I can quit what I'm doing right now and go make $1 million. You give me a couple of years, I'll go get a GA somewhere, and we'll move out of our house and move into an apartment. And I get a GA, and then I'll get an on-field, and I'll just work my way up. And in a few years, I'll be making $1 million. I can do it right now. If that was the goal, I'll just do it. It's just not the goal. And I could see it in his eyes. He was like, yeah, he could. He could stop what he's doing and go get a GA and work his way up into an on-field. And next thing you know, he would be making it. He'd do it, but he didn't want to do it. I can't understand why you wouldn't want to do that. and it was a funny moment. But it just shows you everything's different. Everybody's different. Everybody's allowed to be different. All right. What else do we have? Oh, it sure is. Gene, you're right. Gene on Facebook said, hey, it's hump day at Humphrey Coliseum. That's it. State basketball is going to start the season tonight. They open up with UNA, University of North Alabama, from Florence, Alabama. And by the way, Gene, if you're a State fan and you listen on the radio, it changes some things up on the radio tonight. Neil, of course, is going to call the Mississippi State basketball game with Coach Williams on the radio. But because of Dog Talk with Coach Jeff Levy being right before that down the road at the restaurant, Neil can't do both. So they called me in. They called in the backup. So Neil's going to be up there getting ready to start the pregame for basketball right as I'm finishing up hosting Dog Talk with Coach Jeff Levy tonight at Walk-Ons in Starkville. So if you hear something different tonight, now you know. Now you know. JS290, I think he's talking about LSU here. He said, apparently Scott Woodward negotiated the buyouts for both Fisher and at A&M and Kelly at LSU. Sounds like principal agent problem is, who is Woodward really representing? Well, yeah, and I know there's some deeper details on it. You might look it up, JS290, but I think after the initial contract that Scott Woodward gave Jimbo Fisher at A&M, Fisher then got an extended contract, more money, bigger buyout from the other AD, Ross Bjork, who got the job after Woodward left. But yes, Woodward also did do the stuff with Kelly at LSU. So there you go. Jared says, can we get a clip of you roasting Arkansas when all those flags kept getting thrown? Well, it's out there somewhere, I'm sure, Jared. I don't know if I have time to go look it up. But here's the thing. I said today is the time to flip the page and go ahead and move on to previewing Georgia for state and looking ahead of the weekend. And it is. So the Arkansas stuff will be looking back. But it's just that this morning, I had about an hour this morning in the work schedule. It's the first time I've had a chance to do this since this past weekend. But I got the copy, like digital copy of the entire game, the full game. And so I decided to look up all 18 of Arkansas's penalties that they were flagged for. Okay. There were 10 offensive penalties for Arkansas, 8 defensive penalties for Arkansas. I decided to look them all up in the game and work on maybe clipping them all out. And then we'll put them all in a film study video, put it on YouTube and say, here are the 18 penalties against Arkansas. You decide which ones are legit and which ones aren't. Because if you put a green check mark at the end of the play, when you watch the 18 flags that are thrown, somewhere in the neighborhood of 15 to 16 of those, you're going to go, yep, green check mark. That was the right call. anybody objective looking at it. And then the ones that you might not put a green check mark against it, it wasn't an obvious blown call. It's a matter of interpretation. There was one holding on a zone run play in the second half. Yeah, you know, the guard, it was either guard or center for Arkansas. He did have his jersey. He was grabbing the jersey, kind of pulling down, but he was also taking him up the field, which you see that a lot. So you might argue that it's a ticky-tack call. You might also argue, well, technically it is holding. You see what I mean? It's like it wasn't a blatant miscall. Pass interference in the end zone on Arkansas's defense. Okay, the ball was technically, you know, maybe it was within the realm of possibility you could catch it. I felt like it was pretty clear that it was uncatchable. Whether or not that's the rule, I don't know, and it may depend on when it happened. But they called pass interference. He was interfering with Anthony Evans. It's just, what was the ball actually catchable or not? I didn't think it was, but it's sort of a judgment call. It's not like a blown call. And then there was the second roughing the passer deal where the guy is going at the head, passer kind of leads with his head, then drives him in the ground. But it's one of those where within the flow of the play, I wondered, I'm not sure what the Arkansas kid was supposed to do. He really didn't have a chance to put on the brakes, so to speak. Again, technically, roughing the passer, yeah, like the way they call it, maybe judgment. But again, of the ones you wouldn't say were the right calls, it's kind of a judgment thing, a toss-up thing. No blown calls. They wanted an extra call on State for, you know, out of bounds. Well, he hit him inbounds. It was the right call. What I'm telling you is the tape just shows you they were losing their minds over stuff that the officiating crew actually did a nice job. They did. They really did. No other way to say it. Just getting started. Back after this.
At C-Spire, we've never waited. By heart.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Farm Bureau Insurance in Mississippi. Local agents in all 82 counties. So here's what that means. You have that fender bender, hopefully you don't, but let's say you do at an odd time. Something goes on. It's Saturday night at 11 p.m. You don't have to wait until Monday morning to call some 800 number and talk to someone 3 states away. You've got your agent's phone number right there on your phone because you go to church with him. Your kids go to school together. He lives right down the road. You see each other at the ball games on Friday nights. So it's personal with your local Farm Bureau insurance agent in all 82 counties in this entire state. And if anything does arise and you need to, run it up the chain or up the flagpole, the home offices for Farm Bureau Insurance are in Jackson, Mississippi. It's right here in the state of Mississippi. It doesn't get more local than and personal, the service that you get with Farm Bureau Insurance in Mississippi. I can't recommend them highly enough. And if you haven't, recently, let them give you a quote. Home, life, auto. It's Farm Bureau Insurance. Go with the home team.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Well, look at what we have here. Christmas come early. Boom. Little green onion country pleasing. That's not all. Little original smoked sausage flavor. That's not all. Jalapeno and cheddar. It has to be one of my favorite, just judging by how much of that stuff I eat. Oh, can't forget. Andouille. Don't be saying andouille, it's andouille. And last, but not least, pork and pineapple, bun size, 3 links, bun size. Look at that right there. Be careful. Come on with it. It's mine. Come here, jalapeno. Oh, that's all mine. Country pleasing sausage. We'll be right back after this message from C Spire. My name is Matt Wyatt. I host the Matt Wyatt radio show out of my home using C Spire fiber.
And when we hit the road as a family, Matt's show goes with us, thanks to C Spire Wireless.
Its ultra-reliable nationwide network lets me broadcast live from anywhere.
And never miss a moment that matters.
Connecting you to what inspires you most on C Spire's blazing fast 5G network. And right now, get your choice of free phone. That's customer inspired. That's C Spire.
Y'all like coffee? I know you do. Check it out. Little High Point Roasters from New Albany, Mississippi. That is the breakfast blend. It's whole bean. And if you notice, that's how much I've had already. Brazil Oberon. Not Orgeron or Orgeron, you LSU. No, Brazil Oberon. That ain't all. What we got there? What flavor is that? Papua New Guinea, grade AA. Bring it on. High Point Roasters, New Albany, Mississippi.
Zone 1059 and worldwide at the Zone1059.com.
Back with you. I'm Matt in the Bureau, the Farm Bureau Insurance Studio. Farm Bureau, go with the home team. All right. Somebody texted me that they were in the process of working on those renovations at the Liberty Bowl. So maybe they're getting close to getting it done. I didn't track it, but I knew they said from what they showed when they announced that they were going to improve it, it looked really good. Like it was going to be good, and some, including press box stuff, much needed improvements. Nick with a great point on the country pleasing text line. He said, there's lots of men on oil rigs and pipelines missing half their kids' lives because they want to give their kids a better future. They spend 2 weeks missing their family, but do it because that's what a man does. Shout out to those guys. Yeah, good text, Nick. Thank you. I want you to hear a little more from Kirby Smart. He got to talking about receivers. You may be able to hear the question too, but he really complimented a couple of states receivers.
Coach, what have been your impressions on Anthony Evans since leaving here, and also Brennan Thompson, another transfer receiver for him?
Yeah, Anthony's played awesome. It was great. The last 24 hours, I'd seen highlights throughout the year, watching Anthony play really well, just in games and passing and things that overlapped. But then yesterday, you get to sit and watch 4 or 5 games in a row. He's really played well, explosive, fast, vertical threat, quick game threat, blocking well. He's always been a good returner. He's, everything he thought he was. He's a really good football player that has grown, gotten better, and as you grow up and get better, you improve. And he's done that, and he's playing at a really high level. And obviously, Brennan Thompson's a force to be reckoned with. This guy's the fastest guy I've seen on tape probably in multiple years. I can't remember the last time I saw somebody this explosively fast and dynamic as this guy is. So the package of those two guys together is really, really good.
How about that? What's your opinion? You think Kirby Smart was overstating it, or you think he was being honest regarding Brennan Thompson? Said maybe the fastest guy he's seen on tape in a few years. And yeah, and he and the combo of Evans, a former Georgia guy. What do you think about that? Well, that was a pretty high compliment. For sure. Over to the live stream, YouTube, Facebook, X, formerly Twitter. Sven says, Matt, just an idea. We should call up Sam Pittman and Ed Orgeron to be our offensive and defensive line coaches. That'd be a heck of a move, but near impossible to pull off. Yeah, it would. Those guys, they're on head coach buyouts. You're not going to be able to hire them just financially, other than, paying them tons of money, right? Why would they do that? It wouldn't make sense. But you would love it. You'd love to have Pittman on your staff. I was talking to someone this morning, and I agreed that, it has become pretty clear that State coming out of last year, did a heck of a job with, spending their roster dollars, improving the defensive front, adding players from all over the country in there, improving receiver group, adding, sort of a dynamic duo of Evans and Thompson there. But the offensive line as a whole being the one thing that you're pretty clear, okay, yeah, we're going to take another stab at that when it comes to spending those dollars and getting players in. And looking back on it, they were pretty close, but in a position still in the preseason numbers wise where you're going to have to depend on everybody to stay healthy. So you had the left tackle from Virginia, who for whatever reason, I'm drawing a blank on his name right now. You know who I'm talking about. He started at left tackle in the first game of the year against Southern Miss. Anyway, he came from Virginia, won the left tackle job. They really like him for a reason. Didn't necessarily have the greatest game against Southern Miss, and then, of course, got hurt in that game. But with him healthy, they were able to play Albert Reese at guard, okay, which, elevates everything. And it's really clear that State is a much better run offense with Albert Reese on your offensive line versus without him. When they haven't had him, they can't run the ball. When they do have him, they run it really well. Like, he's a difference maker, particularly in the run game. But, when you had that guy healthy at tackle, you're able to either play Reese at the opposite tackle or maybe move him in and play guard. And you kind of get better players across the front. That Steen, that's it. Thanks, Jared. Blake Steen, he got hurt. So then it made Albert a full-time tackle, and then he got hurt. And then it's just the overall depth you have to have, not quite there. And again, it just takes a lot of money. I saw a couple of people mention this. Kirby Smart's got to keep his hands off our quarterback. Everybody's referencing what happened the last time they played I guess it was last year. Freshman QB for State runs out of bounds, and Kirby's trying to get to the referee to scream at him, and he pushed State's quarterback. It was more funny than it was and weird than it was anything else, but you certainly don't see that much. Unnamed texter said, seeing that Brennan Thompson has just been named a Biletnikoff Award nominee, Kirby's probably understating his talents. Someone texted and said the offensive lineman Steen and the brother is committed there also. Oh, okay. I got you. He's another one. When Whitson, the defensive tackle or pass rusher edge guy, got hurt against Arizona State, immediately after that, there were some questions for Coach Levy about his eligibility. Did he have enough left? He could get a medical and play another year, all that. And it seemed like they're trying to make that happen. Like there was some positivity towards maybe having that happen. But I would think same thing for Steen. Wouldn't you? Maybe he could go medical and come back. That'd be something we need to ask about. Sven said, Brennan Thompson is the fastest guy in the NCAA in terms of being clocked in game. They said that in the Arkansas game. Yeah, which makes kind of, I don't know. It's like you've had the long throws down the field. Team of the year, of course, a huge touchdown play early in the year against Arizona State and some of the other throwing catches down the field. You've had some others where, because he's so fast, Blake is intentionally trying to put it way out there on a deep ball so that he doesn't underthrow him. And you pumped it over his head a few times when he was open. But then the other thing is, like against Arkansas there on that fourth down play at the end, he's such a threat to get behind you that it opens up defensive backs to that back shoulder throw even more. Because unless you bump him at the line of scrimmage and physically stay on top, he's going to get a step past you, and he's a threat to run by. You can't run with him step for step. And you really, as a corner, have to, if you're in any kind of man responsibility, or even if it's a zone where you have to turn and run, you have to run so hard to track him that you really open yourself up to that back shoulder. And he made the great sliding catch on that 4th down throw, back shoulder throw that converted and gave you a chance to win the game. If you don't catch that, they take a knee and win. Sven says Kirby should have been banned last year for 6 games for pushing an opposing player. Should have been at least a $5 million fine, he said. Overboard? Too much? Hey, True Maroon. I'll tell you this much. That deserves a congratulations and an attaboy and everything and a Hail State and everything else. He just sent us the sonogram picture. 2045 Bulldog commits coming in 2026. And am I looking at twins, True Maroon? Really? Am I looking at twins? Twins. Oh my goodness. Hey, and when did you find out? How recent is this revelation for you and the True Maroon family that twins are coming? Man, congratulations. Congratulations. 12 weeks, known for 12 weeks. Attaboy. All right, well, we're going to hold you to it, okay? I've got the text, so it's in writing here that, they are Bulldog commits. They have to go to state in 2045. That's it, because you've committed them. In writing on the Country Pleasing Sausage text line here on the Matt Wyatt Show, October the 5th, 2025. The year of our Lord. We have the proof. So then you've locked them in. Good stuff. All right. When we come back, we'll hit headlines here on the show. Maybe a little more from Coach Smart, what he said about the Bulldogs going into this weekend's game in beautiful Stark Vegas, 11 a.m., nice and sunny. Will it be sunny? I think we're going to get some rain on Friday night, but I think maybe Saturday is going to be good. We'll see. Just rolling along with you here on a Wednesday in the Bureau, the Farm Bureau Insurance Studio. Go with the home team. Back after this.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
The Junction Delis, convenience redefined, and Prince Oil Company, a match made in heaven. The Junction Deli, fueled by Prince Oil Company. Prince Oil Company has been fueling Central Mississippi since 1960. It's a pretty good little while. Wonderful people. Man, am I ever more tickled that they're a part of the show and I'm a part of their team now. As you know, if you listen to the radio show, I've been to the Junction in several different places around the state. I've bought gas just like you at a lot of places that are fueled by Prince Oil Company, and they are really wonderful people. By the way, that brand spanking new Junction Deli, Chevron, right across the highway from Germantown High School. It's in Canton. We say Gluckstadt. Do you realize they and other Junction Delis, they serve country pleasing sausage over there on the buffet? You don't get much better than that. The Junction and Prince Oil Company. That's what I'm talking about. We'll be right back after this message from C Spire. My name is Matt Wyatt. I host the Matt Wyatt radio show out of my home using C Spire fiber.
And when we hit the road as a family, Matt's show goes with us, thanks to C Spire Wireless.
Its ultra-reliable nationwide network lets me broadcast live from anywhere.
And never miss a moment that matters.
Connecting you to what inspires you most on C Spire's blazing fast 5G network. And right now, get your choice of free phone. That's customer inspired. That's C Spire.
Welcome to my photography studio downtown Tupelo. Everybody needs a headshot.
especially if you're in the professional world, in sales, any sort of customer related business, outreach business, anything like that. Everybody needs a headshot. Here at my photography studio in Tupelo, we do a lot more than just headshots, but we're kind of focusing on headshots for that very reason, because everybody needs it. Let me show you a little something about it. One thing I'm able to do here is sort of have 2 to 3 different looks in a small space that we can do in a short amount of time. Several different looks and styles of lighting with studio equipment, studio lighting. Some with flash and a particular look that I've worked on, a constant lighting scenario where you sit down, the lights are already on, you lean in, and we kind of illuminate the whole face. And we get several options in the studio in a short amount of time. Here's 2 priorities for me when I shoot headshots. One is it has to look like you. Okay, none of this fake stuff. The other goal is it's got to look like you at your best. And that's my job as a photographer. And I've got a lot of experience over the years, and I feel really confident I can do that for you. I would love to schedule a session for you here at the studio in downtown Tupelo. I'm above the Reed's Gift Shop, just off of Troy Street, the corner of Troy and Spring. If you can't get to Tupelo, that's okay. Let's talk about it, because we can pack the studio up and come to you if the schedules fit and that sort of thing. I'd love to help you with your headshots. I think everybody needs them. I'm inviting you to please email me, reach out. You can go to my website, mattwhyattmedia.com, email address matt@mattwhyattmedia.com, and let's talk about your headshot. Farm Bureau Insurance in Mississippi, local agents in all 82 counties. So here's what that means. You have that fender bender, hopefully you don't, but let's say you do at an odd time. Something goes on. It's Saturday night at 11 p.m. You don't have to wait until Monday morning to call some 800 number and talk to someone 3 states away. You've got your agents.
1059 and coming to you worldwide at thezone1059.com.
Back with you. I'm Matt in the Bureau, the Farm Bureau Insurance Studio. Farm Bureau, go with the home team. Headlines.
Good evening. I'm Ron Burgundy, and this is what's happening in your world.
Good evening, and welcome to Eyewitness News.
Here's what's making news.
Headlines on the show brought to you by the Mortgage Man Group. The Mortgage Man Group, powered by Illuminate Bank. You can visit them online at mortgagemanms.com. Anything mortgage related, buying, refinancing, all things in between there in the state of Mississippi. That's where you want to go. Go to mortgagemanms.com. Headline number 1 in the NFL. The Cowboys are trying to turn around this 3-5 in one season. They've added 2 starters, including Pro Bowl defensive tackle, former Alabama Crimson Tide D lineman Quinnen Williams from the New York Jets before yesterday's trade deadline. They had to give up a 2026 second-round pick, a first-round pick in 2027, and defensive tackle Mazi Smith to the Jets. Quinnen Williams suiting up for the Cowboys. They're getting a little defensive help. They've also added linebacker Logan Wilson from the Bengals. Check this out. LSU does have a permanent athletics director now. LSU is promoting Verge Osbury to athletics director. They're taking off the interim tag. He's the AD. They also hired a new president. You know that, right? What's his name? How do you say his last name? Wade Rouse, Rousse. How do you say that? Anyway, that's the new president. Now they have a full-time AD, and now they can go about hiring a football coach, I guess. And now this third headline, just out of nowhere, is weird to me. It's going to be a headline and a news story that I'm certainly going to need to hear Beaver's take on this. Tom Brady Tom Brady had a dog named Lua, L-U-A. A pet dog. Tom Brady had a pet dog named Lua. Lua passed away. So according to Tom Brady, they cloned Lua, and that is his new dog named Junie. Tom Brady says his dog Junie is a clone of the family's previous pet. I don't really know how to feel about this. I'm going to bounce this off Beaver. Come in, Beaver. Are you aware of this story?
Yeah. Okay. Is it something with me, or is it just you hosts? Because Jake couldn't wait to present this to me yesterday. Like, I guess he thought I was going to have some outrageous yelling reaction.
Okay. Well, first of all, low key way of you letting me know that this story is a day old. Okay. Secondly, what it is, Beaver, is it's not that we think you're going to go off. It's just that I think either of us, we need your input on something like this. This is not, hey, so-and-so's hurt, or hey, state's hosting Georgia. What's the score going to be? No, this is Tom Brady cloned his dead dog. But you're saying it doesn't bother you?
It doesn't. The cloning thing, it's, yeah, you bring that into it and it sounds weird when you lead off with that. But in the grand scheme of things, we've heard ridiculous nonsense in the last like year, maybe two. There have been talks of, oh, well, we want to clone. You basically want to do like Jurassic Park. There was talk last year about cloning a woolly mammoth. There was talk about cloning a wolf.
Yeah.
Now that's terrible ideas, but what, if you bring it down to your dog, the way people feel about their dogs, I can understand it. The cloning element is strange, but I get it. If you want your same dog, well, it's not the same dog actually, but you get where I'm going with this. I get it, I guess.
Beaver, what's one extinct animal? If you could choose one to bring it back via cloning, what are you choosing?
Well, I'm no animal expert, and I don't keep track of extinct animals, so I don't really have a good answer here. A dodo bird sounds nice.
You just said the name. You just said I don't keep track of extinct animals.
Well, because when I think extinct, you go straight to dinosaurs. Nobody needs a dinosaur coming around. So
I've seen Jurassic Park. We don't need that. How about a saber-toothed tiger?
Never. Nobody needs such a thing. Look at this. Okay, I go to Google, list of extinct species, and the first one that pops up is a dodo bird.
Okay.
Let's see. Yeah, so I feel okay in my answer.
Okay. All right. I wonder if you can eat a dodo bird. I wonder if you could eat them. I'm sorry to go there. I'm just curious. This seems like we came full circle real fast. They're extinct. Bring them back. Eat them. But anyway, Beaver, listen to this. Brady made the announcement on the same day that Colossal Biosciences, a venture capital-backed biotech startup. What does that say? It sounds like Jurassic Park. Yep. Made an acquisition of another animal cloning firm called Viagen Pets and Equine. Colossal which aims to fix extinction, among other goals, is said to be valued at $10 billion. And this is the first major acquisition. And he says, hey, my dog died, cloned it, got another one. I'm telling you, it all makes me uncomfortable. I don't like any of it. None of it. I don't like it. I don't want to see Tom Brady's dog. Not that I will ever have a chance. I don't want to see it. Beaver, is it a real dog?
Now, I have questions about this.
Mm-hmm.
You got to wonder because you just so happen to tell us that while you're talking about how this corporation that you invested in made this big announcement.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then it's questionable.
I'm telling you, it all gives me the creeps, Beef. Even the story online that I'm reading about it, you know what the picture they choose of Tom Brady is? It's like he's somewhere in a suit and tie, wearing sunglasses with no smile expression on his face whatsoever. Like he's some sort of like, I don't know, undercover weirdo. And it all makes me uncomfortable.
You know, Bill has just changed my mind completely on this.
Okay.
Bill just texted in Pet Cemetery. That's all I'm saying.
What's that?
Yes. Okay, Matt. Sometimes dead is better.
So is
what
that
you put in the ground isn't necessarily what comes out. Sometimes dead is better.
Okay. Now we really have come full circle. Philip texted and said, cloning your dog costs $50,000. Here's the thing, Beaver. Now, again, I am not a dog snob at all. The dog I have right now, I love him to death. We're tight. We're buddies. Big Jasper. We were going to foster him. And then I had him for like 30 minutes. I was like, nope, I'm keeping him. We really hit it off. Beaver, you know what Jasper does? He waits in the evening and will not eat his food until I start eating supper. Once he knows and sees that I'm eating, he goes and eats his food at the same time I eat.
That's very courteous.
He's smart. He's great. Okay. And he's a mix. There's nothing full-blooded about him. He's considered a mix. But $50,000 to clone what is being called a pit bull mix. The dog is a pit bull mix. Lua was adopted by Brady and his former wife, Giselle Bündchen. The couple divorced in 2022. Lua died in December the following year. He's gone. A pit bull mix, $50,000, cloned it. I guess here's what I'm saying. I don't support it. I do not support it. Does he need my support? No. Does he know I exist? No. Does he need to know I exist? No. But for the record, put it down beside my name, does not support it. And that'll wrap up our headlines. Brought to you by the Mortgage Man Group, powered by Illuminate Bank. Find them online at mortgagemanms.com. Hour 2 coming up. We heard what Kirby said about state. What did Levy say about Georgia? That's coming up and more in the Bureau. Hour 2, right after this. Stick around.
After these messages, we'll be right back. Yeah. After these messages, we'll be right back.
Well, look at what we have here. Christmas come early. Boom. Little green onion country pleasing. That's not all. Little original smoked sausage flavor. That's not all. Jalapeno and cheddar. It has to be one of my favorite, just judging by how much of that stuff I eat. Oh, can't forget. Andouille. Don't be saying andouille. It's andouille. And last, but not least, pork and pineapple. Bun size, 3 links bun size. Look at that right there. Be careful. Come on with it. It's mine. Come here, jalapeno. Oh, that's all mine. Country pleasing sausage.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Welcome to my photography studio downtown Tupelo. Everybody needs a headshot, especially if you're in the professional world, in sales, any sort of customer related business, outreach business, anything like that. Everybody needs a headshot. Here at my photography studio in Tupelo, we do a lot more than just headshots, but we're kind of focusing on headshots for that very reason, because everybody needs it. Let me show you a little something about it. One thing I'm able to do here is sort of have 2 to 3 different looks in a small space that we can do in a short amount of time. Several different looks and styles of lighting with studio equipment, studio lighting. Some with flash and a particular look that I've worked on, a constant lighting scenario where you sit down, the lights are already on, you lean in, and we kind of illuminate the whole face. And we get several options in the studio in a short amount of time. Here's 2 priorities for me when I shoot headshots. One is it has to look like you. Okay, none of this fake stuff. The other goal is it's got to look like you at your best. And that's my job as a photographer. And I've got a lot of experience over the years, and I feel really confident I can do that for you. I would love to schedule a session for you here at the studio in downtown Tupelo. I'm above the Reed's Gift Shop, just off of Troy Street, the corner of Troy and Spring. If you can't get to Tupelo, that's okay. Let's talk about it, because we can pack the studio up and come to you if the schedules fit and that sort of thing. I'd love to help you with your headshots. I think everybody needs them. I'm inviting you to please email me, reach out. You can go to my website, mattwyattmedia.com, email address matt@mattwyattmedia.com, and let's talk about your headshot.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Farm Bureau Insurance in Mississippi, local agents in all 82 counties. So here's what that means. You have that fender bender, hopefully you don't, but let's say you do at an odd time. Something goes on. It's Saturday night at 11 p.m. You don't have to wait until Monday morning to call some 800 number and talk to someone 3 states away. You've got your agent's phone number right there on your phone because you go to church with him. Your kids go to school together. He lives right down the road. You see each other at the ball games on Friday nights. So it's personal with your local Farm Bureau insurance agent in all 82 counties in this entire state. And if anything does arise and you need to, run it up the chain or up the flagpole, the home offices for Farm Bureau Insurance are in Jackson, Mississippi. It's right here in the state of Mississippi. It doesn't get more local than and personal, the service that you get with Farm Bureau Insurance in Mississippi. I can't recommend them highly enough. And if you haven't, recently, let them give you a quote. Home, life, auto. It's Farm Bureau Insurance. Go with the home team.
On Friday nights, you'll see us in the stands. On Saturday mornings, we're at the pancake breakfast. And during the week, we're here at Bank First, helping our neighbors make life happen. Because in a small town, your banker isn't just someone behind a desk. They're the same person who cheers for your kids, volunteers for your causes, and supports your business. That's what it means to be neighbors. Bankers, friends. Bank First, proud to be part of the home team. Member FDIC.
Getting your car repaired is no easy task, and it takes someone with knowledge and certification. Clinton Body Shop takes pride in perfection and has more certifications than any shop in Central Mississippi. With 2 locations in Richland and in Clinton, their OEM factory certified staff is just a phone call away to restoring your car to its original condition. Learn more today at ClintonBodyShop.com or call 601-924-2159. Choose the team Mississippians have chosen for years with their car. That's Clinton Body Shop in Richland and in Clinton.
WRKS Pickens Jackson. We are good to go. With more of the Matt Wyatt Show. Coming to you direct and live at the Zone 105.9 and worldwide. Now, here we go. At the Zone 105.9.com.
Back with you. All right, hour number 2 of the show. Here we go. I'm Matt in the Bureau, the Farm Bureau Insurance Studio. Farm Bureau, go with the home team. They are your home team at Farm Bureau Insurance. Beaver's here. I'm here. You're here. Got the whole gang. We can have a show. I got an hour left together here. Beaver's driving the bus. It'll get you home safely in your driveway about an hour from now. And in the meantime, you can be a part of it. Hope you will be. Comment on the live stream, YouTube, Facebook, X, formerly Twitter. Type a comment, post it. It comes through here. We can pop it up on the screen. No, for example, by the way, on YouTube, no JS290. The mom who shot the two-lane monkey was not in the headline segment. But we did mention it a couple days ago. You can also text the show on the Country Pleasing text line. That stands for Country Pleasing Sausage. It comes from right here in Mississippi and Country Meat Packers on Highway 49 in Florence, Mississippi. The number to text, 885-3776, 601 number, 885-3776. And, of course, the old tried and true Junction phone line. Just call me. I get to hear your voice. That'd be great. On the Junction phone, Junction Delis, all across the state. You pull in to get some gas. They're fueled by Prince Oil Company. So you pull up to the pump, fuel in your tank, go inside, fuel in your belly from the Junction Deli. 897-1059. 601 number, 897-1059. Today is National Donut Day. It seems like I remember us talking about this last year on National Donut Day. How last year on National Donut Day, I didn't get a donut. We had donut discussions. Beaver and I ranked them. If I'm remembering correctly, Beaver, you thought that Krispy Kreme was overrated, I think.
Yes.
Okay. How about that? I remembered it a year later.
I can't believe this. Maybe you do you remember it because you violently disagree with it?
Maybe, because I do disagree. What do you call those donuts that have the Krispy Kreme donuts, but they have the little ridges, like they almost look like a truck tire or a tractor tire, like because they have the little ridges around the edge? You know what I'm talking about?
Fritter?
I don't know. They're round. They have a hole in the middle. They're straight up glazed.
Oh.
They have like a ribbed edge. Yeah, but them things are good. The fritter. Seems like last year also, Beaver, we had about a 30-minute conversation about whether or not an apple fritter is a donut.
Sounds about right.
Okay. All right, Beaver, look at the text line. Ernest T is trying to tell me what that's called. Now, he spelled it Cruller. Big Matt over here on YouTube spelled it with a K. My thing is, how do you pronounce that?
A cruller.
A what?
Coffee and cruller. Stat.
Wait a minute, though. What are you saying? Are you saying cruller or cruller or in between?
Cruller.
Curler. Why can't I say this? Jared tried to spell it out. He said cruller.
Cruller. Coffee and cruller.
I mean, is that because if you took the C off, it would be ruler. And you put a C in there, it's cruller. I still can't say it. Anyway, that's what I'm talking about. QB1 is an aficionado. He said that's a sour cream donut. More Bully said, well, he's got a typo. I can't read that. And then let's see.
Can't be the best if you always have typos. Remember that.
I mean, that's one of those where you're trying to send it in too fast. And I do it all the time, Beaver. I'll hit send before I actually really take my time to proofread it. Bill said crullers are different. You're talking about old fashioned. He said, I could be wrong, but I think I am. Well, we know what we're talking about though, right? Like you can picture them. See, that's my issue with this thinking in pictures thing that I have. And again, for those that want to get deep on that subject, I highly, highly recommend looking up like the TED Talk or maybe other presentations or even reading the book or watching the documentary about Temple Grandin. She is the professor, I guess, over animal sciences at Texas Tech, I believe it is now. But she is a fascinating person, but she's done all this research about and can really outline it and pinpoint it. You either think in pictures or you think in words, and there's a difference. And you listen to her go through it, you'll be like, oh, yeah. Well, I'm one of the pictures people. It's like, I could draw you a picture of it. I cannot think of exactly what to call it. and even though you tell me what it is, I can't pronounce it apparently. More Bully says a cake donut. Cake donuts are the ridge ones. Okay. I'll go with that. Thank you, More Bully. Cake donuts. Well, anyway, happy donut day. National Donut Day. Wait a minute. So we have 2 donut days? So apparently, I don't know. Like it's always November the 5th, and then also the first Friday in June. Apparently, is also another national. How big, old boy, are you? Beeve, have you ever gotten a box of like a dozen donuts and tell them, hey, just put a variety in there, and then you open the box to get the surprise of what's in?
Oh no. If I'm going to go with a dozen, yeah, I'm picking those.
Okay. So you're going to tell. I like to do that every now and then. It's been a while. And I'll say, look, I want a dozen, but I want a mix, a variety, and just surprise me.
Well, see, but you run into there, you're going to end up with like something like lemon-filled nonsense. Something like that.
Yeah. But as a grown fella, can't we just power through and eat that anyway, Beef? I will admit there are times, Beaver, where I'll eat things that aren't necessarily what I would pick just because I want it. I want to get full. I'll admit that. Kenny Don't Call Me Ken sent with pictures. He said, keep talking, Matt. I'll be laying bricks for a walkway to the wife's greenhouse / winter stray cat shelter. So he's got an outdoor project going on right now. We're helping him get through the hours. Laying bricks for, what is it again? A stray cat winter shelter / greenhouse. There you go. 2 birds with 1 stone. Jared texts the show and says, I also remember a year ago you were talking about fritters, and one of the listeners had a family donut business, and I wanted to know why apples were the only fritter options. I still want a blueberry fritter. Well, that's tough. I mean, that would get messy, wouldn't it? I mean, really. An apple fritter, the apples are a little more together if it's done right. The blueberry is just going to make a mess. Yep, there they are. So I don't know if you can see that, Beaver, but on the country pleasing sausage text line, Ernest T says, with a picture, here it is, Krispy Kreme donuts, crullers. That's them. That's what I'm talking about right there. Crullers. See, now you know why I said it kind of looks like a tractor tire. And then Grumpy weighed in. Now there's a pun in there somewhere on National Donut Day. Grumpy says he strongly disagrees with Beaver about Krispy Kreme. He said, as a 1950s kid, we bought them off the truck for 35 cents a dozen in Charlotte, North Carolina. They were terrific. Man, fresh off the truck? What donut truck? Is that, I mean, did y'all have like a donut truck like the ice cream truck? Or was this, they were delivering them to stores and you flagged them down? Yeah, and Bill, I see what you're talking about there. And the old-fashioned buttermilk, quote, old-fashioned cake donut. That's pretty close. Pretty close. I could use some donuts. After all this talking about donuts. Hey, wasn't it Brian Haydad that asked Jeff Levy in a press conference at some point this year about some place has got a donut named after him? Something named after Levy. And Levy was like, look, I appreciate it, but I got to lay off them things. Something, wasn't it a donut? Anyway, speaking of Levy, earlier today we heard what Kirby Smart said about a few of the Bulldogs. What is Jeff Levy saying about a few of the Georgia Bulldogs here? We'll start with a question and Q&A and a little bit of what Jeff Levy's saying about Georgia.
Coach, obviously you can see it with how they play, and you could also see it post-game with how the players reacted with you. I mean, you've been able to keep this team together and playing hard every game despite the issues that y'all have had on the scoreboard. What has been the secret to that, keeping the locker room together and keeping the culture strong like you have?
I think it's just the consistency in how we go about doing what we do every single day. Again, not letting a result dictate how we interact, how we coach, what the expectation is, understanding that we have the ability to control how we prepare and how we play. And so for us, the consistency inside our walls, I stress and strain that with our entire staff, everybody that's inside this building every day. Young people need to know what they're getting before they walk in the double doors. I think that's one of the most important things about leadership. We're fighting like heck to do that every day as we got ready for another great Monday for us, after finding a way to go win.
We talk about, the fun's in the winning, as you said on Saturday, and you get that dub, there's probably a really good chance you're going to have a good turnout this Saturday. I mean, with Georgia coming to town and the atmosphere you guys have been able to create, how important is it for you to have a huge home field advantage?
Man, we need it in a huge way. I mean, we need 60,000 shaking cowbells and having as rowdy of an atmosphere as there is in the country. Ironically enough, I'm headed to the house late last night, make a quick phone call and realize we've got we've got more tickets out than maybe we would all like. So we're doing something. I went ahead and got 500 tickets. We've got a couple of players on this football team that are doing the exact same thing for youth organizations that are inside our community to be able to get the youth groups out. And for us, it is us making sure we're protecting Davis Wade. We're trying to fill it with maroon and white. And, man, we need it. We need 60,000 strong. We got a top 5 football team coming into our place. It needs to be as electric an atmosphere as there is in college football. We have the ability to do that. We know that, but we need that.
You're facing a Georgia team that is kind of similarly been in a lot of close game situations or late game situations where they've had to pull one out. As for you and your group evaluating your performance on Saturday, how big is it for them to, see the shot go in and finally get one out at Arkansas?
Yeah, it was huge. I think just us having the ability to point to how we played in the fourth quarter defensively, getting 2 3-and-outs, having the 4th down stop, offensively being able to finish drives. We had the one field goal that was very frustrating in the moment because we're down there. We're 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line after a big play, and then have the negative play. We end up in a really bad situation, which, again, was really frustrating in the moment. But our guys seeing how it looks when we go close it out and leave no doubt. There's so many other situations inside the game, the plays inside the game, to where maybe you're not in that situation at the end of the game. And that's something we're constantly stressing as well. But to be able to point to the tape and say, man, these plays are what gives us the ability to have a happy locker room is huge.
All right, it's a little bit from the Levy press conference. We'll get into some more of that. There he talks about the 500 tickets. I didn't know, though, that he said that you've got some players. They, through pay for play, they got enough money to also go buy some tickets and give them suckers away, get people in there to watch them play. That's good for an 11 a.m. game, November the 8th, which is what? Y'all know what I'm going to say? This Saturday, November the 8th, not only football day, but it also is. Yep. It is the opening day of the youth deer season, youth gun season, November 8th through 21st, private lands and certain open public lands. That's right. Later on, the later on gun season in Mississippi is a little later, but I mean, get archery season going on right now too. So, I mean, it's going to get real nice and cool. I think I was looking at this, that the weather also is like it was last week, where it's like front comes through, wets everything, cools it off, give it about 24 hours. Another one comes through and bam, it's really cool after that, I think is what they're saying. I know that there have been a bunch of high school football games that were going to take place on Friday night that are getting moved up to Thursday. Some of that, maybe rain stuff going on. I'm pretty certain I saw that. In North Mississippi, that is. But then like next week, I'm talking about, we've got a couple of days, or at least one night next week in North Mississippi, we're going to get temperatures in the 20s. You hear me? So here's what it's showing for Starkville. And I wondered about this because, like, further north and to the east, the rain chances on Friday night are a little higher right now, because I was wondering about that alumni baseball game. The really cool thing they're doing at Duty Noble Field on Friday night, the Thunder and Lightning teams with Clark and Palmero both being there. But what they're saying in Starkville right now, Friday, a high of 76 with a 40% chance a couple of times during the day. But it looks like the majority of the rain chances on Friday are later that night, like overnight while you're asleep. Yeah. And then Saturday in Starkville, a high of 77, 44% chance of rain throughout the day, but mostly partly cloudy throughout the day. But then another front overnight, Saturday night into Sunday morning. And then get this, Sunday, a high of 58 with a low of 31. Monday, a high of 47 with a low of 24. Tuesday next week, high 55, low of 37. Then it starts warming back up after that. The 20s, I can't stand it. I don't like it. As if I can do anything about it. I don't like it. Possum Neck Joe, he texted the show on the Country Pleasing text line. He said, I used to like Tom Brady, but 2 divorces and a lot of weird things he's done post-playing career. Hey, Joe, me too. I gotta be saying a bunch of negative stuff about somebody I don't know on the radio, but I'm like, man, that's weird. Really? You went and cloned the dog? It's weird. Gino says he used to get donuts for 35 cents a dozen. Wouldn't that be great? You can also get a tank of gas or a gallon of gas for 35 cents, right? Back in the day. Regarding those donut trucks, I asked Grumpy. He said growing up in Charlotte, North Carolina, they'd get them straight off the truck. And I was like, "Is it an ice cream truck?" And he said, "No, it was like the milk trucks." 1958, they went to 50 cents a dozen. Inflation. So yeah, the milk trucks delivering milk. You also had a donut truck. Joe Mailman says you guys aren't old enough to remember the old Dunkin' Donut commercial 40 years ago. The donut maker waking up early saying, "It's time to make the donuts." And I don't remember it. I really don't. Big Matt. Hold on, Matt. Let me see if I get this right. Number 71 in your program, number 1 in your heart. Didn't you wear 71? Matt Caldwell, offensive lineman, Mississippi State. Been coaching in He's one of the smart guys who stayed in coaching. Matt said, "You're killing me with all this donut talk. You got me wanting to go to Shipley's and get a mixed dozen." Okay, so here is Matt's mixed dozen. You ready? 3 glazed, 3 chocolate frosted, 3 strawberry frosted, 3 maple frosted with bacon. I repeat, maple frosted with bacon, all caps, the perfect dozen. And Jared is saying that's at the Frosted Fork. It's called the Levy. Oreo cookies and cream cupcake. I see. So it's not a donut, it's a cupcake. Gotcha. What did Levy say? I appreciate it, but I don't need that. I got to stay away from those. 70. Golly. Where'd 71 come from? Matt wore 70. Matt, are you sure? It was 71. I can remember something Beaver and I talked about a year ago. I can't remember what number you wore 30 years ago. Me either, for that matter. All right, rolling along with y'all in hour 2. Stick around.
Designed to be the most powerful iPhone ever, there's more.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Hey y'all, Matt Wyatt here. Each week on the Mississippi Outdoors Podcast, we talk with the people who live it. Hunters, biologists, game wardens, local celebrities, and storytellers that know Mississippi better than anyone.
Those bass come up there and attack them. You know how mean bass can be there.
You're never going to believe this. Matt Wyatt just talked about your deer on the radio. I said, "What did he say?" He said, "It was Photoshopped." And I said, "What?"
They don't know anything about hunting. They just have never had that right, that freedom.
Dude, that's us, man. That's what we do. So tune in, be inspired, and we'll see you outdoors.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Yeah. Farm Bureau Insurance in Mississippi. Local agents in all 82 counties. So here's what that means. You have that fender bender, hopefully you don't, but let's say you do at an odd time. Something goes on. It's Saturday night at 11 p.m. You don't have to wait until Monday morning to call some 800 number and talk to someone 3 states away. You've got your agent's phone number right there on your phone because you go to church with him. Your kids go to school together. He lives right down the road. You see each other at the ball games on Friday nights. So it's personal with your local Farm Bureau insurance agent in all 82 counties in this entire state. And if anything does arise and you need to, run it up the chain or up the flagpole, the home offices for Farm Bureau Insurance are in Jackson, Mississippi. It's right here in the state of Mississippi. It doesn't get more local than and personal, the service that you get with Farm Bureau Insurance in Mississippi. I can't recommend them highly enough. And if you haven't, recently, let them give you a quote. Home, life, auto. It's Farm Bureau Insurance. Go with the home team.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Well, look at what we have here. Christmas come early. Boom. Little green onion country pleasing. That's not all. Little original smoked sausage flavor. that's not all. Jalapeno and cheddar. It has to be one of my favorite, just judging by how much of that stuff I eat. Oh, can't forget. Andouille. Don't be saying andouille, it's andouille. And last, but not least, pork and pineapple, bun size, 3 links, bun size. Look at that right there. Whee! Be careful. Come on with it. It's mine. Come here, jalapeno. Oh, that's all mine. Country pleasing sausage. The Junction Delis, convenience redefined, and Prince Oil Company, a match made in heaven. The Junction Deli, fueled by Prince Oil Company. Prince Oil Company has been fueling Central Mississippi since 1960. It's a pretty good little while. Wonderful people. Man, am I ever more tickled that they're a part of the show and I'm a part of their team now. As you know, if you listen to the radio show,
here right now on the Zone 105.9 and worldwide at the Zone1059.com.
Back with you, I'm Matt in the Bureau. Staying connected to you because of C Spire, the #1 network in Mississippi. C Spire, customer inspired. Check them out at cspire.com. Kenny, don't call me Ken. He sent me a picture to prove it. He said, I was born and raised in San Jose, California. Trucks like this cruised the neighborhoods just like the ice cream trucks. It's like it's not a van. It's almost like a pickup truck with a camper shell on it. Old school, really nice. Expandable awning over the back. You could open the back doors. Helms Bakery. And look at it. It's like a whole sales kiosk in the back of a truck. Cookies and what? And treats and what? Man, what happened to that? Where'd that go? Why don't we have those? I mean, I guess the ice cream truck survived just because what? It's hot down here. Bring that donut truck around. Watch what happens. What is it? Too hard to turn a profit on donuts? You don't even have to keep those frozen. Beef, the more I think about this, do you see what I'm saying? Look at, can you see that picture on the text line that Kenny sent?
Yeah.
Okay. We have ice cream trucks in the South. We had them when we were kids. We still do. They've been around for at least probably 40 years, maybe longer than that. But the thing about that is it's only really hot for 2 to 3 months out of the year. You do have to somehow keep those things frozen inside the truck. That's a lot of trouble. Why didn't we have a cookie / treats / donut truck riding around playing music and pulling me out there? I can buy a donut out on the street corner for 50 cents. You kidding? Why didn't we have that?
That's a good question, because actually never in my life have I ever seen a donut truck. And it would have been, it would have been a good idea. I think still today.
I do too.
It'd be a good idea.
Beef?
Because donuts, guess who's not? Ice cream truck, that's for kids. But donuts, you're grabbing kids and grown-ups.
Okay. Go with me here. Food trucks, Beef, they're everywhere, right? Mm-hmm. I started to say a minute ago, I don't have any food truck experience at all. None. But I started to say, okay, is it a thing where, you have to dip those donuts to make new ones? You got to dip those donuts down in that hot grease. And you can't necessarily be driving around with sloshing around hot grease back there. But, I'm sure there's a way around that once you park the truck. But I mean, just picture it. Even if you just confined it, Beaver, to this right here, places where food trucks already exist and are setting up on corners selling a lot of good food. A donut truck.
It's a good idea.
Beef, side note, how many times have you and I had a light bulb moment on the show with a really good idea, but never act on it?
At least 6. What was that last one we
What
came
was
up
it?
with? Oh, man. Oh, our putt-putt golf course.
Putt-putt. Oh, Beef, hear me out. A putt-putt.
I think I already know where you're going. Go for it.
A putt-putt course that is centered around donuts. It's a donut place. We serve donuts and putt-putt at the same place. The putt-putt course is all about donuts. There's different donuts. You don't have to hit the ball through the lighthouse. No. You got to hit the ball through the cruller. Or cruller, whatever that is. So it's eat donuts and play golf. And the only added expense and some sort of unique take on that is you're just going to have a way to, wash and sanitize the golf club grips, because everybody's going to have their greasy little sugary fingers all over the golf balls and the golf clubs. Anyway, you didn't ask for this by bringing it up, the putt-putt thing, but I do think a donut food truck, do they even exist?
I don't know, Matt Wyatt, but let me tell you something. I really like this idea. Donuts. Mm-hmm. It even rhymes, donut and putt-putt. The names are just out there waiting to be had. And it's a good combination.
Yeah. Yeah. Go putt donuts. I tried. Let's just stick with donut putt putt. All one word, no spaces. Donut putt putt. Yeah. Hey, Beeve, you get a hole in one, and we have ring cameras so we can always back it up, make sure you get a hole in one, free donut.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. See, and there's bound to be a unique way to tie in donut holes, because you have holes in golf. So maybe instead of like an 18-hole course, Beeve, you just have a dozen holes, as in a dozen donut holes. What do you think?
This is okay. Yes, I'm with you
mm-hmm.
for it.
Mm-hmm. I think we're getting close on this idea. I really do. And it just dawned on me that we are live on the radio, but I'm sort of my brain is sort of overtaken thinking about this idea right now.
And let me ask you this. I wonder if we can sustain this, if we cannot go broke with this. Maybe, because I've been told by certain people that have gone to a putt-putt golf course, and they like to claim that nobody in history of putt-putt has ever achieved what their family did by hitting multiple hole-in-ones. But what if we give away, every hole-in-one you get one free donut hole.
Oh.
Because I feel like that would be that could be what keeps you coming back.
Mm-hmm.
You got so close. Oh, well, next week I'm going to get that. I'm going to come back. I'm going to get that hole in one. I'm going to get my donut hole.
You're saying that you take a loss financially if you're giving away an entire donut for a hole in one?
Yeah. So let's just make it donut holes.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I got you. Yeah, for a hole in one.
Mm-hmm.
So you get a hole.
It's all about the wordplay.
It's all about the wordplay. Okay, B, one more extension of this idea. And this is really putting myself out there, okay? Because this could be something I get laughed at for. We were on the idea of the food truck. Here's another what if. What if we stick with the food truck idea where it's a donut business out of a food truck, but you set up a makeshift, but not cheap and flimsy, but a cool one hole putt-putt type of thing, lane hole right next to the putt-putt, and you can step up, and if you make a hole in one there, we give you a donut. So not only are you waiting in line, you don't have to just wait in line to get up there and give your $3-4 and pay for your donut. You can also step up, grab the putter. If you hit a hole in one, you get your donut free. We just set it up wherever we go with this food truck.
Okay. Let me throw something in here that this brings to my brain space. We got to make it so now we're implementing a fair type atmosphere in the sense that since we're setting that up, then we've got to be like a carny. We've got to set it up like the basketball hoops at the fair, which are always rigged. The rim is just slightly bent, so you can't get that ball in there. We've got to find some way to rig our little, our hole that we're putting in there. Yeah. Okay. I can go with all this is what I'm saying.
Wait, you think you need to be able to control whether the ball goes in or not?
Yeah, we can't be giving away all those free donuts, Matt.
Okay. I think it would be really easy to fashion a putt-putt hole setup that breaks down and sets back up with a little feeder system that if the ball does go in, it feeds it down that PVC pipe right back out. You can just pick it right back up. And if it ends up there, therefore it's proof that it was a hole in one. Therefore we know we're giving out a free donut right there. So a little fun, a little challenge, unique experience, as well as donuts. And you don't have to try that. You can try it. You can just walk up and buy, a dozen glaze and walk away. We're going to do one of these ideas at some point, Beav. We're getting close. A little bit of time left when we come back on the business hour, the entrepreneur hour here on the show. Stick around.
This is Jake Mangum, former Mississippi State Bulldog. On the field, I've got to be ready for
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Farm Bureau Insurance in Mississippi. Local agents in all 82 counties. So here's what that means. You have that fender bender, hopefully you don't, but let's say you do at an odd time. Something goes on. It's Saturday night at 11 p.m. You don't have to wait until Monday morning to call some 800 number and talk to someone 3 states away. You've got your agent's phone number right there on your phone because you go to church with him. Your kids go to school together. He lives right down the road. You see each other at the ball games on Friday nights. So it's personal with your local Farm Bureau insurance agent in all 82 counties in this entire state. And if anything does arise and you need to, run it up the chain or up the flagpole, the home offices for Farm Bureau Insurance are in Jackson, Mississippi. It's right here in the state of Mississippi. It doesn't get more local than and personal, the service that you get with Farm Bureau Insurance in Mississippi. I can't recommend them highly enough. And if you haven't, recently, let them give you a quote. Home, life, auto. It's Farm Bureau Insurance. Go with the home team.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Well, look at what we have here. Christmas come early. Boom. Little green onion country pleasing. That's not all. Little original smoked sausage flavor. That's not all. Jalapeno and cheddar. It has to be one of my favorite, just judging by how much of that stuff I eat. Oh, can't forget. Andouille. Don't be saying andouille, it's andouille. And last, but not least, oh, pork and pineapple. Bun size, 3 links, bun size. Look at that right there. Be careful. Come on with it. It's mine. Come here, jalapeno. Oh, that's all mine. Country pleasing sausage. We'll be right back after this message from C Spire. My name is Matt Wyatt. I host the Matt Wyatt radio show out of my home using C Spire fiber.
And when we hit the road as a family, Matt's show goes with us, thanks to C Spire Wireless.
Its ultra-reliable nationwide network lets me broadcast live from anywhere.
And never miss a moment that matters.
Connecting you to what inspires you most on C Spire's blazing fast 5G network. And right now, get your choice of free phone. That's customer inspired. That's C Spire.
Y'all like coffee? I know you do. Check it out. Little High Point Roasters from New Albany, Mississippi. That is the breakfast blend. It's a whole bean. And if you notice, that's how much I've had already. Brazil Oberon. Not Ogeron or Orgeron, you LSU. No, Brazil Oberon. That ain't all. We got that. What flavor is that? Papua New Guinea grade AA. Bring it on. High Point Roasters, New Albany.
At the zone1059.com.
Back with you, I'm Matt. Joe Mailman named our donut business idea. Beaver, he said you call it Matt and Beave's Budget Donuts. You know, and in terms of like a business name, budget goes with a lot of things. If you notice, though, it never works with food items. Matt and Beef's Budget Donuts. Yeah, not going to work, is it? Let's go back to Jeff Levy press conference talking about his team and the Georgia Bulldogs.
Something we're constantly stressing as well, but to be able to point to the tape and say, man, these plays are what gives us the ability to have a happy locker room is huge.
Coach, after he played for the first time in a few weeks, how did you think Fluff looked out there Saturday?
Fluff did some good things, really frustrated in how we ran the football against a defense that, again, had given up a lot in the run game. That was, without a doubt, to me, the most disappointing thing coming out of the game. Again, just great frustration in that. The negative runs, the 0 to negative runs for us were, man, it was troubling. We made some huge plays. We had a ton of explosive plays. I think we ended up with 22, maybe 10 plus plays, which is a huge deal. But we're so big, little, it just creates great inconsistency. And Georgia's been really good against the run. We've got to run the football so that we can have balance and take some pressure off of the QB and receivers.
You talked a lot in the offseason about building depth on the offensive line, not for just this year, but for the future, and building that room back up. And obviously injuries have kind of curtailed that some a little bit this year. But what's this as far as practice goes? How have the 3 JUCO guys done that are redshirting this year with Shumpert and Miles and LaFleur?
Yeah, Shump has really done a good job and done some really good things with Big Matt.
And I'm going to jump in here. That was a question about guys who are redshirting. I want to jump in here because I want to read this. If I can get it to pull up here, it may be behind. No, I don't think it's behind a paywall. Okay, here we go. OnlineAthens.com. That'd be Athens, Georgia. OnlineAthens.com. Headline: Georgia football players not too concerned with Mississippi State's tradition of cowbells. Georgia football players are accustomed to how hard it is to play on the road in the SEC, and this year they've already endured a night atmosphere at Jordan-Hare and the insane sound trap that is Neyland Stadium. So, cowbells at Davis Wade? That's light work, the article says. Quote, Kirby Smart, noise is noise. I've not been to an SEC venue that it was not hard to play on the road. And that's not going to change with Mississippi State. They got a really vertical stadium, and I think the noise gets trapped in their stadium. It's one of the loudest places that I've coached, and I've coached there a lot. They got a lot of pride. Red Shirt Junior offensive lineman Ernest Green said, we only worry about 11 people on the field. Cowbells are an external factor, and once you get in the game, you don't really pay attention to the crowd noise or anything like that anyway. Long snapper, Bo Gardner. Now, let me just say, this is rare. It's not often that we get a quote from the long snapper, particularly about crowd noise. But long snapper, Bo Gardner said, the noise doesn't really change my job at all. It's the exact same thing. It's 8 yards, it's 15 yards. I'm trying to put it on the money. I'm locked in on the visual cues, and I pay no attention to the noise. Red shirt freshman, defensive lineman Joseph Jonah Ajonyi said with a laugh, I just heard about the cowbells a minute ago. Pretty interesting. Senior wide receiver Noah Thomas. I'm sure Coach Smart's going to have some cowbells at practice. Smart said, sometimes you make a bigger deal out of it than it is. You just got to go play. I don't know. You know how sometimes that works. The reason I'm reading it is because sometimes what happens is, see, Kirby Smart's exactly right. He's exactly right. That whether you're the home team or the visiting team, sometimes we make a bigger deal about the crowd noise than it really is sometimes. And you just have to go play. You know, it's loud in a lot of places. But you get a headline like that, Georgia football players not too concerned with Mississippi State's cowbells. Then you get a quote from a coach like that. Well, sometimes you make a bigger deal out of it than it is. And then that'll make the rounds on social media, and then everybody with a cowbell at State will ring it twice as hard and twice as loud at the game, which, you know, if you're a State person, I guess that's really what you want. I mean, it is really what you want. What do you think? Cowbells are a big deal? You think they play a role? You know, I mean, I guess there's some times in a game where it can. I felt like the atmosphere for the night game that you had against Arizona State really did help State. You know, being at home, super loud, live crowd, and the cowbells seemed to help State. I mean, to what degree, I don't know, but it seemed to help. And then, you know, I mean, it's got to factor in to some degree, again, whatever that degree is, because home teams over the years have a lot more success than the road teams do. But, you know, the other factor is 11 a.m. You know what I mean? It just, Noise is noise. A certain decibel level is a certain decibel level. Loud is loud. Whatever effect it has, whether it's dark outside or light outside, we're talking about audio, so it doesn't matter that much technically. But if there's something about the loudness at night versus the loudness in the daytime, it does feel different, I think, for opposing teams. So, 11 a.m. might even in some shape, form, or fashion nullify that. The biggest thing, though, is the momentum in the game. We've seen it over and over and over again over the years. Early in the game, different stages throughout the game, you give States fans a reason to get loud and try to control the atmosphere. They will do it. Opposing teams come in there and take control. You keep States cowbells out of it. So that's a big part of it on the road too. And it is true. I mean, if you're looking at it from a Georgia perspective, you go to play at Auburn at night, you go to play at Tennessee, you've been in some tough, loud atmospheres also. Hey, this just popped up. It's late here, but it just popped up over here if you search for college football online. Auburn and Notre Dame are going to play a series. 2027 and 28. Got to wait a couple of years, but in 27, Auburn will go to South Bend, and then Notre Dame will come to Auburn in 2028. Those two schools have never played each other in football. How about that? That's really cool. Auburn fans get to experience South Bend, Indiana. Hey, don't forget basketball tonight. Season opener for Coach Chris Jans, Mississippi State, playing UNA at Humphrey Coliseum. Looks like 8 p.m. tip. Is that right? So, yeah, late. 8 p.m. tip-off tonight. Neil and Coach Williams will be on the radio pregame starting at 7:30. I believe 30 minutes prior to kick. And that means, I told you this earlier, that means I'm actually going to fill in for Neil tonight on Dog Talk, Coach Jeff Levy, at the restaurant there in Starkville. So I'll go down there. If you turn that on, if you do listen to that Dog Talk, you'll hear me. They call it in the backup because Neil's got to go and get ready for basketball. And season opener, pretty important deal. So you do have that tonight. And we are kind of getting in that time of year. So I looked at weather earlier. If you're just tuning in, I think Friday night, at least for now, they're showing that the big alumni baseball game with Palmero and Clark and all the former players should be okay. Should be okay Friday night. Saturday, it looks like it's going to be really nice temperature-wise. Maybe cloudy on and off, some, partly cloudy here, there, but the rain chances throughout the day for Saturday, at least right now, are down there around 40% throughout the day, so kind of hit or miss. But a high Saturday of 77, doesn't get cold until Sunday, Monday. All right, that wraps it up. Donuts and more on a Wednesday show. Appreciate y'all being here today. Thanks for the comments on the live stream, Facebook, YouTube, X, the text on the Country Pleasing text line, and more. For Beaver, I'm Matt. We'll line up tomorrow, do it again. Same time, same place. We'll see you then. In the Farm Bureau studio, Farm Bureau Insurance. Go with the home team. See ya down the road. See ya.